All right, I did my article, or my 3MT talk. The article I chose was Basking in Reflected Glory, 3 football field studies. It was done by Robert Cialdini from Arizona State University and Richard Borden from Florida State University. It was published in 1976 in the Journal of Personality and Sports Psychology. And that would imply it's kind of outdated, but it's actually a seminal work in fan consumer literature for sport management. It's one of the most important texts. It's something that's been cited throughout the years. Even in recent articles, it's something that's still cited. So the purpose of this study was to investigate how someone associates themselves with a successful other. More specifically, how college students would bask in the reflected glory, or berg, with respect to their university sports teams, specifically the football teams. So their expectation, or the hypothesis going into it, was that individuals attempt to bask in the glory of an associated successful source by announcing their affiliation with that source. So specifically, they wanted to look at how the university students associated themselves with the football team when the football team was successful. So they carried out 3 experiments. The first experiment was monitoring the clothes of undergraduate students in their Monday classes to see if there was a connection between students wearing clothes, connecting themselves to the school, and a victory by the school's football team days before on the weekend. The results showed that there was much more clothes identifying an individual with the school after the football team won. So the authors concluded that this showed a desire for people to emphasize their casual associations with positive things. The second experiment involved telephone interviews with 16 participants. They were asked about campus life at their school, then half was asked to describe a game that their team won, and the other half was asked to describe a game that their team lost. The results showed that the participants that were asked about the victory were more likely to say "we won" and associate themselves with the team, and the ones that were asked about the loss said they lost, disassociating themselves with the team. So this meant that they were more likely to associate with victory as opposed to loss. The third experiment was 170 more telephone interviews. They were each asked to describe one important victory from their football team season and one loss. The results again show that subjects use the term "we" twice as likely as often to describe a victory as they were to describe a loss. This again reinforced experiment 2 that people associate with victories. So the results of the experiment showed that the tendency for students to associate themselves publicly with a football team happens more so after a successful game than an unsuccessful